At 0:55 a.m., Officer Nathan Smith of the police department stopped the 27-year-old woman, Brooke Taegue. According to the description provided by the same officer, she appears to be under the influence of alcohol and is surrounded by a strange odor that raises suspicions of possible substances. But is this true, or is it just an abuse of police power? After following the vehicle that seemed to have driving problems due to constantly swerving between the yellow line and the respective lane it belonged to, Officer Nathan Smith decided to tail the driver for a while until stopping them at a certain point. According to the report, the vehicle came to a stop in the parking lot located at 3302 S. Walton.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, I'm Officer Smith, Bentonville Police Department.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Smith.
I've never heard that before in a traffic stop. I appreciate that. Hey, so I'm just stopping you for improper lane use.
Sorry, I was on the phone.
You're on the phone?
I'll be honest.
Okay.
Initially, she appeared very calm, not paying much attention. It seemed she was in a phone call with her father. After a brief interrogation, she answered some questions, including her name.
Did you have to clean up and all that stuff? Okay. How much do you have to drink tonight?
Only one drink.
Just one drink?
Yep. Yes,
Final
sir.
answer?
Miller.
A Miller Lite?
Yes. I won't lie to you, a Miller Lite.
That's all you've had?
Yes, sir. You can ask Zachary.
I don't really want to talk to
I know
Zachary.
you don't, but I'm just saying.
Okay.
Brooke, who was the daughter of a former United States Marine who previously served in Indiana for many years before moving to that city, greeted the officer with a rather relaxed appearance, as if she didn't care that a police officer was nearby. But an important aspect is her expression. She appeared somewhat agitated, sped up, like when people are intoxicated. This young woman seemed noticeably affected by alcohol.
The old jacket on?
Yeah.
I should have worn my sweater tonight.
You should have. Yeah, I can smell it from across the car.
Oh yeah, dude, she was all over the road.
Yes, there has been a change in the frame, with another officer entering the scene to assist his colleague, Nathan. His name is Quinton Reinhardt, and he will be with him for most of the inspection.
All right, Brooke, hey, would you want to do some field sobriety tests to make sure you're good to go?
Yeah.
All right.
You want me to turn the car off?
Whatever you want to do, you can leave it on or run it. Or
I'm keeping it
just
warm.
Go back in front of my car for me, okay?
It seems she has accepted the proposal. She appears quite confident. It's worth noting that in Officer Nathan's report, by this point, he had detected a strong odor of alcohol. So the young woman was already under suspicion. After explaining the procedure and how the sobriety test should be conducted, the young woman stands firmly in front of the officer.
Appreciate it. All right, right here, okay? Don't move your head. Try not to move your head.
According to the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, they explained that when the brain is under the influence of alcohol, it tends to have a distortion of reality. The brain sees and functions differently, which affects mood.
He makes me giggle too. It's okay.
Okay. I snore. I'm from Huntsville.
We're supposed to be professional.
I'm from Huntsville. It's going to make me snort.
Everybody, let's
Okay,
get
sorry.
it together, okay?
And this can clearly be an effect of this. The young woman cannot maintain a serious demeanor during the test. Besides being easily distracted, she is failing the test, which further exposes her condition.
I'm just
All right.
smiling.
No,
I'm sorry.
Anyway,
I get nervous.
okay. All right. Don't.
It should be noted that the officers are behaving quite pleasantly. Is it because she's a woman? Could it be that they want to take advantage of her intoxicated state? Such cases are very common where officers exploit civilians' conditions to extort them with the law. As we know, the fine ranges from $300 to $500, up to 30 days in jail, and a nearly 1-year driver's license suspension.
All right, whenever you're ready. Keep your arms at your side, okay? Out of your pockets.
1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second, 5 second, 6 second, 7 second, 8 second, 9 second, 10 second, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
This is the turning point where it's more than clear that she is suspected of being drunk. Let's see what the officers decide to do.
Okay, you can put your foot down.
How much you've actually had to drink?
I've had 2 Millers.
2 Millers now? That's it?
Yes, sir. You can call Mitchell, the manager.
Okay. Well, hey, go ahead and put your hands on your back for me, okay?
Yeah.
Do for me.
9:29.
Hey, so,
She admitted to having consumed more than one Miller, which prompted the officers to take action and decide to handcuff her.
Zach, are you still here? Zachary? Yeah. Hey, I'm Officer Smith with the police department. She wanted me to let you know that...
After a while of searching, the officers found several things, including vomit and other substances that confirmed the officers' suspicions. Finally, they discovered the immense mess inside the vehicle. There are several elements to consider in this case. The officers confiscated the vehicle, which was towed to Bontonville Towing. Brooke has respiratory problems and requires an inhaler, which had to be kept close by constantly.
You're what?
Right here.
Where do you want it?
Right here.
Like, this way?
Out of my cheek.
Alright, go this way. Hey. So, once I sit you down and we start reading stuff, you can't put anything in your mouth, okay?
You take it out completely.
Take what out completely?
The freaking hair in my cheek. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Do you have like a ponytail
Nope.
thing? Or? Okay.
It's fine.
In this manner, they proceed to enter the police station, where they release her from the handcuffs. Being in a police zone, she could do little or nothing. At that point, she was in their territory, so she was at the mercy of the law.
Well, because of this right here, and then at some point, 30 minutes less. I promise you don't.
I know I don't right now. If it was home, yes.
Yeah. Right now he's in work mode.
I know I understand completely. I have really big dogs.
At this point, the young woman has stopped making jokes and behaving childishly. It's possible that the effects of the alcohol are wearing off, or perhaps she panicked when she saw the officer begin to write the young woman's information on the sheet. What is certain is that there is a lot of concern, which the officer dissipates with his pet. It seems like he's trying to establish a good rapport with the distressed girl, showing some humanity. From what we've seen so far, he's just doing his job without saying anything. Now, during the wait, it's important to clarify that a person can have some alcohol in their system, as long as it doesn't exceed 0.8. If it remains below this limit, they can get by without any issues. That's why she was taken to the police station, to wait to use the machine and thus confirm her current state to determine whether there's a case against her or if she's cleared of her actions.
Okay. So you are advised that any person who operates or is in actual physical control of a motorboat or motor vehicle in this state is deemed to have given consent to one or more chemical tests of his or her breath, saliva, or urine for the purpose of determining the alcohol or controlled substance content of his or her breath or blood if the person is, number one, involved in an accident while operating or in an actual physical control of a motorboat on the waters of this state or motor vehicle, or the person is arrested for any offense arising out of an act alleged to have been committed while the person was driving or boating while intoxicated, or driving or boating while there is an alcohol concentration of 0.08 or more in the person's breath or blood.
So he's reading her the entire article so that she can be aware of the consequences.
We've got about 6 minutes or so until it's ready for you. Have you ever used one of these before? Have you ever used one of these before? Or like a PBT or anything? Alright, hey, we need to slow it down, okay? Just relax. Don't put yourself into some kind of...
Brooke's comedic personality could only hold out for so long. Her body couldn't handle the pressure anymore. We even see her trembling in panic while the officer tries to calm her down a bit about what's happening. They wait for the last few minutes. Initially, the capacity and morality of the officers were questioned quite a bit, but in this case, they have acted in accordance with the law, without abusing it and keeping the situation as controlled as possible. Such cases are not so common, where we see the individual and the officer cooperating together. There have been several situations where abuses of power have been witnessed, like attempted advances by the victims. But in this case, we see a young woman in the grip of panic due to drinking. Just after the first exhalation, after insisting on going to the bathroom multiple times, we come to the next scene.
You know what's funny is I don't ever drink.
No?
No. My stepdad's an alcoholic, so I don't ever drink. So it's kind of funny. Not really, but really.
It may be a lie or it may be true. It is true that this young woman's father was a former U.S. Marine. Perhaps, due to the young woman's approximate age, he may have been in combat situations some years ago, which led him to fall into alcoholism. Whatever the situation, the young woman has to stop and take the second breathalyzer test to determine her level of intoxication. So after doing this, she goes to the bathroom following the last test. She returns, waiting for the test results, and what she hears is the following.
Alright, so your final result, again, is at the end of this .08. You blew a .14. We're going to take a field trip.
Yes, she failed it by a large margin. She was in a very high state of intoxication, and it was quite evident. If we backtrack a bit to the 3 tests she took, she did very poorly. From her wandering gaze, the laughter, having to walk and stumble, then attempting to maintain balance, even her stuttering speech. And though it wasn't entirely visible, according to the report made by the officer, it seems she had bloodshot eyes for some reason, indicating she might have consumed more during the process. So future charges may not only be related to this.
This is gonna get me in a lot of trouble with the divorce of my baby daddy.
It is?
Is it?
I don't know anything about that.
Brooker seems to be pleading for the officer's sympathy, but it doesn't seem to matter. At this point, he is fully focused on the paperwork, concentrating on his duty as a police officer. Furthermore, he consoles her a bit by expressing that she's not a bad person. She just made a bad decision.
How am I supposed to work?
So, Brooke, I need you to focus because this is the important way to get your license back.
I have 2 jobs. I have to work.
I get that. And there are ways around that, okay? Hey, Brooke. I'm going to show you the stuff you need to do as soon as you look, okay? So this is a carbon copy piece of paper, right? So everything I just read and it's on the back here and here. So these 2 are mine. This one is yours. This is your temporary license.
At this point, the young woman seems to be at her limit. Nevertheless, as this is her first encounter with this situation, she will have a bit more freedom and can regain her right to have a driver's license in less time. It seems what the other officer who came with him said was not true. This is the first time they've encountered young Brooker, so all the paperwork she's signing is based on a first-time occurrence.
You will bring it, right?
The inhaler? Yes. I'll let the nurse know that. So what all do you have going on?
He didn't have a lot going on.
Well, I meant like medically.
After this, Brooker is taken to jail to spend the night there while the penalties for her recent actions are applied. The young woman's father should pick her up the next morning, and if in the unlikely event that doesn't happen, she can either walk or call an Uber. With that, the Brooker case concludes. Brooker is a young woman who, by choosing to drink heavily that day, ended up losing her license and the right to drive for a somewhat limited time. She was fortunate to have an officer in charge who chose not to mistreat her in any way and to show her respect. On several occasions, she was seen trying to appeal to the officer's sympathy, but it didn't work in any way. She failed the tests, and although she claims not to be a regular drinker due to her youth experiences, nothing changes the fact that on January 15, 2023, at 12:55 a.m., this young woman was detained for swerving off the road. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.